My greetings to everyone. I am Professor Dr. Namita Rajput, Professor in Department of Commerce, Sri Aurobindo College, University of Delhi. In the ongoing series of Art of Being Happy, which is a value addition course in the new curriculum of NEP 2020, today we will be discussing on enhancing happiness, implications of measuring happiness, in which we will be covering on enhancing happiness, measuring the happiness and well-being, leveraging the happiness data for policy and decision making, implementing the happiness measurement in government policies, its positive psychology, and improving the learning environment, followed by happiness and sustainable development goals 2030. So let us start with the introduction to enhancing the happiness through measurement. Enhancing happiness through measurement involves assessing and quantifying the well-being to better understand the factors that contribute to a person's happiness. This can lead to insights for personal growth, policy making, and interventions aimed at improving the overall life satisfaction and positive emotions. Enhancing the happiness through measurement is a fascinating field that seeks to understand and quantify the elements that contribute to human well-being and contentment. By utilizing the various metrics and assessment, the researchers and the policy makers can gain the valuable insights into how to improve the individual's quality of life. Now, happiness is subjective and can vary from person to person. So, it's very important to consider both the external circumstances and your internal feelings when assessing your well-being. Let us find out the relationship between measuring the happiness and promoting the well-being. Measuring the happiness involves assessing the people's subjective well-being. By understanding what makes people happy, we can promote the well-being by focusing on the factors that contribute to positive emotions, life satisfaction, and overall quality of life. Measuring the happiness provides insights for the policymakers, researchers, and individuals to make informed decisions and obviously create an environment that enhance the well-being. Now, society can measure the happiness through various methods, surveys and the questionnaires. Now, designing the surveys that ask individuals about their life satisfaction, emotional well-being, and overall happiness. The common scales provide and include the World Happiness Reports, Cantrell Ladder, and positive and negative affect schedule. Now, societies often measure the various aspects using the methods like survey, data analysis, observations, statistical tools to understand the trends, behavior, and the patterns within their population. Let's find out the leveraging happiness data for policy and decision making. Now, leveraging the happiness data for policy and decision making can actually provide valuable insights into the well-being of the population. By analyzing the factors that contribute to people's happiness, policymakers can actually make more informed choices to improve the citizens' quality of life. Now, this might involve prioritizing the areas such as the mental health, social support, work-life balance, and community engagement. However, it's important to consider a holistic approach that includes the economic, social, and environmental factors to create the effective and sustainable policies. Happiness data can be subjective, and happiness is a complex and a personal emotional state. Happiness data can be subjective and definitely that vary greatly from person to person. Now, an example of a policy based on happiness data could be the implementation of a green space initiative. This policy would involve creating and maintaining more parks, gardens, and natural areas in the urban environment. The decision to prioritize this initiative would stem from happiness data, indicating that access to green spaces and the nature positively correlates with the people's well-being and overall happiness. Now, by using such data, policymakers can invest in projects that promote the mental and the physical health, social interaction, relaxation, thereby enhancing the overall happiness and the quality of life of the residents. Let's start with the implementing the happiness measurement in the government policies. Implementing the happiness measurement in government policies involves incorporating the well-being indicators into the policy-making decisions. Now, this can include the factors like mental health, life satisfaction, social connections, and overall quality of life. The government might conduct these surveys, analyze the data, and collaborate with experts to assess the impact of policies on citizens' happiness. By considering these measurements, the government aims to create the policies that promote the holistic well-being of their population. Now, implementing the happiness measurement in the government policies involves several steps. The first is establish clear indicators to measure the well-being, such as life satisfaction, social connections, mental health. Now then, gather the data through the survey or other methods to assess these indicators. And finally, design and implement the policies that address the factors affecting happiness, such as health care, education, and the social support. Continuous monitoring and adoption of policies based on happiness matrix are very essential for ensuring their effectiveness in promoting the citizens' well-being. Now, there are several countries which have integrated the happiness measurement into their government policies. Now, here are a few examples which we are going to discuss. The first is Bhutan. Bhutan is known for its Gross National Happiness Index, that is GNH, which measures the well-being through indicators such as sustainable development, environmental conservation, and the cultural presentation and preservation in addition to economic factors. United Arab Emirates, the UAE, it established a Ministry of State in 2016 and developed a national happiness and positivity program to promote the happiness and the well-being and the life satisfaction. Next we have is New Zealand. New Zealand government introduced a well-being budget that considers the overall well-being of its citizen alongside the economic factors. Next, most important is Sweden. Now, Sweden's welfare policies, including universal health care and education, it contributes to its high levels of well-being. Now, coming on to the role of positive psychology in enhancing the happiness. Now, the positive psychology focuses on the study and cultivation of positive emotions, strengths, and well-being. It enhances the happiness by helping the individuals identify and utilize their strength, fostering the positive relationships, promoting gratitude and mindfulness, and encouraging a sense of purpose and the meaning in life. Positive relationships are a very crucial component of the well-being and the happiness. They involve connections with the family, friends, colleagues, and partners that bring joy, support, and a sense of belonging. Now, positive psychology is a branch of psychology that focuses on the study and promotion of positive emotion strength and the well-being in individuals and communities. Now, its role in enhancing the happiness involves identifying and cultivating the factors that contribute to a fulfilling life, such as gratitude. Now, positive psychology improves the relationships by emphasizing the key principles and the practices that enhance the connection, communication, and the overall well-being within the relationships. Now, some ways it achieves, which includes 1. Gratitude and appreciation. Encouraging the partners to express the gratitude and appreciation for each other fosters a positive atmosphere and reinforces the strength in the relationships. Now, strength-based approach. Identifying and focusing on each person's strength and virtues. It actually helps the partners understand and support each other better, leading to a more harmonious dynamics. Next we have is empathy. Developing empathy allows the partners to connect on a deeper level by understanding and sharing each other's emotions and experiences. Next is your positive communication. Emphasizing the positive and constructive communication patterns. It enhances the mutual understanding and helps the partners resolve the disagreements more effectively. The next is your forgiveness. Encouraging the practice of forgiveness. It actually helps the partners let go of the past grievances and move forward with a clean slate. Building resilience. Teaching coping strategies and resilience building techniques. It helps the partners navigate the challenges without letting them negatively impact the relationships. Now coming on to happiness and education, improving the learning environments. Happiness and education are very closely connected. Creating positive and supportive learning and environments can greatly improve the students' engagement, well-being, and academic outcomes. This involves fostering a sense of belonging, encouraging collaboration. Now, when students are very happy and motivated, their overall learning experience becomes more effective and fulfilling. Improving learning environments involves creating the spaces that are conducive to effective learning, utilizing the modern teaching techniques, integrating technology, fostering the collaboration, and considering the individual learning styles. Now, technology can also enhance the learning in the various ways, which is very important to dwell into. The first is your access to information. The internet and the digital resources provide the students with instant access to a vast amount of information, making research and learning more. Now, improving the environment involves creating a conducive atmosphere that enhances the student engagement and, of course, the comprehension level. This could include the factors like well-designed classrooms, interactive teaching methods, access to technology, comfortable furniture, and a positive classroom culture. Now, additionally, incorporating a multimedia resource, fostering the collaboration, and addressing the individual learning needs can contribute to a more effective learning environment. Teachers can build better relationships with their students by getting to know the students well. So, learn about their interest, their backgrounds, their strength, their weaknesses, which helps in establishing a personal connection. Clear expectations. Clearly communicating the classroom rules, assignments, and expectations so the students know what is expected of them. Two-way feedback is also very, very important. Encouraging the students to provide the feedback about the teaching methods and materials and being receptive to their suggestions. Individual attention. Taking time to engage with each student individually, showing a genuine interest in their progress and the well-being. Non-verbal communication. Using the body language, facial expressions, and the gestures to convey the interest, empathy, and understanding. Now coming on to a very pertinent part, that is, what is the link between the happiness and the sustainable development goals, measuring the happiness in the urban planning and the design, enhancing the happiness in the rural communities, challenges and opportunities, the cultural sensitivity in utilizing the happiness data, and addressing the inequality and the social justice to boost the happiness, and also about the long-term implications of prioritizing the happiness in the society. Now, there is a very strong link between the happiness and the sustainable development goals. The idea of sustained well-being is what connects the happiness to the sustained development goals, that is SDGs. Now, these sustainable development goals are a collection of basically 17 interconnected objectives that were adopted by United Nations to address the urgent and the global issues like poverty and inequality, as well as the environmental degradation and, of course, the climate change. Now, these objectives, they actually aim to advance the social, economic, and environmental progress in a fair and sustainable way. The happiness includes a larger sense of well-being, the happiness and the overall satisfaction rather than just the personal pleasure. So definitely they have a very close-knit connection between the two. The first is holistic approach to well-being, recognizing that well-being covers the social, the economic, and the environmental elements. The Sustainable Development Goals take a holistic approach to development. Now, this is consistent with the idea that the characteristics such as health, education, social connections, and the environmental quality, in addition to material riches, have a very important and a deep impact on happiness. The first is your no poverty, and the next is your reduced inequalities. Second is your eradicating poverty and reducing inequality. The sustained development goals that are centered on eradicating the poverty, goal number 1, reducing the inequality, goal number 10, both contribute actually to happiness. By addressing the essential requirements and the opportunities that enable people to live an honorable life and have the equal access to resources. So both these goals, goal number 1 and goal number 10, they are connected in terms of eradicating the poverty and reducing the inequality, which helps in people in living a very good life, and they have the equal opportunity and access to the resources. The next is your health and happiness. So by assuring the access to the health care, education, and promotion of the physical and the mental well-being, the goals relating to excellent health and the well-being, that is goal number 3, and quality education, goal number 4, have a direct impact on the personal happiness. That is, goal number 3 is about the good health and the well-being, and the 4th is the quality education. The next is your environmental sustainability. The Sustainable Development Goals, they encourage the environmental sustainability with goals including goal number 6 on clean water and sanitation. The goal number 7 on affordable clean energy. The goal number 11 on sustainable cities and communities, and goal number 13 on the climate change. So 6 is your clean water and sanitation, and the 7th is your affordable and clean energy. Definitely, there is a human pleasure and the well-being are directly connected to the healthy environment. I support goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities, and the next is that is goal number 13 is your climate change. The next is your gender equality and empowerment. Now, in addition to being a fundamental human right, the gender equality, that is goal number 5, they also make for a happier society, and the gender equity and the empowerment of the woman increase the social dynamics and the general well-being. The next is your peace and stable institutions. The focus of goal number 16 is on justice, peace and stable institutions, the trust, the social cohesiveness and the happiness are actually fostered by peaceful societies with effective governing mechanisms among their populace. The next is your community and the social relationship. There are numerous sustainable development goals which actually promote the social contact, community participation and inclusive growth, all of which are shown to increase the happiness and the well-being by actually fostering a sense of identity and the purpose. So we can say here that there is an individual, there has to be a relationship, there has to be a community, and there has to be a society. So community and the social relationship, they actually promote the social contact, their participation and the inclusive growth, which is very important for all the countries, all of which actually show there is an increased level of happiness thereafter, and of course the well-being and a sense of identity and the purpose, which is holistic and we should encourage such activities. That is when you talk about commuting, community and the social relationships. Now we talk about the ethical consumption and the production. The responsible consumption and the production, that is goal number 12, they emphasize the sustainable practices that actually strike a balance between the human needs and the environmental concerns, thereby promoting the ethical well-being and enjoyment. The next is a global cooperation and solidarity. To address the shared difficulties, goal number 17 of the Sustainable Development Goals, they place a strong emphasis on international collaboration and the partnership. Now, this group effort encourages a sense of shared accountability and support a feeling of well-being and interconnectedness on a global scale. Next we have is a long-term perspective. In order to protect the resources and guarantee a sustainable future for future generations, the Sustainable Development Goals encourage a long-term perspective on development. And of course, this is consistent with the notion that making investments in sustainable development now can increase the happiness and well-being later on. So the sustainable and sustained development goals, which are closely related to the idea of happiness, it offers a thorough framework for achieving a sustained well-being. The SDGs work to create a society in which the people can live a very satisfying and a happy life and find more enjoyment in harmony with one another and the planet by tackling many aspects of the human development, the social fairness, the environmental protection, and the international cooperation. Thank you very much.